BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top trade. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi.
Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm going to make a video on VeChain, but I might as well have an overview of the market just because you might not want to know about VeChain, you might want to know what's going on elsewhere. The only reason I'm talking about VeChain is that this is an example of pretty much the only coin that I've dollar cost averaged into that is now almost completely every single entry in profit. It will be in, or all entries will be in profit once I get above this level, 3.2 cents. So yeah, not quite there. I mean, overall it's profitable, but you know, I'm just putting it to you that the plan for at least for this coin is almost completely awesome. And the main vibe was all to do with this total 2, which has come down to the bottom of this, what I consider to be an accumulation range. Yeah, you get wicks and stuff. We could easily come down to see it again. We could even break down from it. We don't know. But looking okay. So we'll look at VeChain in a moment. But let's have a look at Bitcoin first, because Bitcoin's up 4% now. It's on the weekly, managed to basically close below the 21 exponential, which, to be fair, you know, is a resistance, and then woke up after that, bang, up to the 10 exponential and the 7 simple. So we've still got room to make up on this one. I think with the way that it's going right now, we should see ourselves push up to 65,000, to be honest with you. That's the Bollinger Band Center, that 21 weekly moving average, and this box of significance. So when we get to that level, that's where we have to hold our breath properly. I mean, you can hold your breath here if you like. I mean, it's realistically as a resistance, but this would be a much bigger one. This would be where we might actually get rejected to create a lower high and go bearish. That's true, but recognize that this chart is still massively bullish with golden crosses on simples and exponentials on the higher term time frames, looking very good. So it does look good. It is good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's good, but recognize resistance right now. Their major resistance around 65,000. The daily is above all moving averages now. Yesterday we closed above pretty much the majority of moving averages. It's only this 50, which is now we're creeping above that. There's nothing else on this chart other than just general momentum moving off from the bullish divergence that we had on the daily, which is good. And the 4 hourly is relatively hot, I have to say. Pretty hot over here. 79. It's not overheated by any standard though, to be honest with you. Same with the money flow index. Money flow index is back up at 90. Tiny bit of bearish divergence. It's nothing really too much. And there's no golden cross or anything like that. There's just the pump signal that's generated back down here at 59,000, and that has broken through the resistance. So it does look good. So let's turn our attention to VeChain. This is a VeChain video. So the reason I really started getting interested in this one and several other coins like it, Ethereum Classic and a few others that I'm looking to, well, I have and I'm hoping to hold for the long term, is that the long term, higher term time frame charts were actually and still are actually bullish. This one had a golden cross similar to several others out there. This is why I trade these dinosaur coins. People don't like them, but I do, because I'm all about making money, not gambling really. You buy a coin that only exists for a few months or a year or something like that, it is still gamble, because all moving averages as well as other indicators, they're all based around price, volume and time, and the absence of time makes the indicators that you use less relevant really. You need an older chart, which is why I like things that are older, more mature. I'm a cougar. I'm a cougar lover of charts. That's what I'll be, a cougar lover of charts. So what we're looking at here is a golden cross that actually failed, and this is why I wanted to buy it to begin with, because I was optimistic about how the market might respond to these, which is why I started the dollar cost average process, you know, at this golden cross. It failed. 2 further entries on the way down, the last one being this down here. Obviously we wicked below it, but now amazing weekly, pushing all the way up, currently above the golden cross, which never death crossed by the way, and rejected at this top of the range, just where the 21 exponential is. This has a pump signal. The pump signal was generated here, which never actually played, so you could see a V-shaped recovery all the way back up to the candle bodies that were lost and see where we go from there. There is nothing particularly bearish. Excuse me, I'm still feeling it over here. Nothing particularly bearish about this weekly, I have to say. But again, similar to Bitcoin, you want to reclaim the center of the Bollinger Band to really get going. And obviously, no parabolic move will happen until we're above all moving averages and they're in the correct place. Similar to how Bitcoin chart looks, to be honest with you. So it's still very early days. Not looking for this to make a new all-time high or anything like that anytime soon. Absolutely not. I was looking to buy into this, what I would consider as being a relative low. Same as these other altcoins that I've been buying into. Relative lows for what I expect to be later on down the line, somewhere around this period around here, a much higher price where I'll sell. So this is a portfolio allocation. This isn't a trade that you take right now. Recognize that this one from the low to its high has actually done very well, all the way into its 200 exponential right now. So this is a resistance on a daily. It's a death cross retest, so you shouldn't really expect it to break out from here. So with that, we should be thinking we're probably going to come down from here to hopefully form a higher low. You might even get a pullback of up to 18%. If it were to happen today, that would be. I don't see that as a possibility, but it could happen today. So death cross retest, just like a golden cross retest, is an opportunity to exit a trade, maybe even short. I'm not looking to short the crypto market while in a bull market. Short the crypto market when in a bear market, not in a bull market, because the chances of it just popping and going straight up for whatever reason, they're too high. You short a bear market, not a bull market. So, but this is an opportunity, as I suppose, for those who really want to take on the risk to short. This is an obvious place. And if we were to look for supports, you could start from the 50 exponential, that's 2.9, 10 exponential, 2.8, 21 exponential, 2.7, and the final major support, which hopefully will hold 2.6. And these are the areas where you should be getting supports. And so if there's a buy the dip on this, or a long, or whatever it is that you feel comfortable doing, and again, I'm not telling you to do it, I'm not doing it. These are the areas where you'll be doing it from. This is, for me, a long-term position, and I'm very happy to hold it. And I'm glad that I managed to allocate relatively well in this, and hopefully it moves up. But if it doesn't, I'm still 50% in cash. I've got plenty of available cash if it all goes wrong to allocate deeper, because I still, as much as we are turning around now, and it's only the middle of July, I thought that the consolidation would last longer, but it's looking quite good at the moment. But we're not out of the woods, absolutely not at all. So it could easily come down low. So like I say, I'm 50% in cash still, looking to allocate the rest of that 50, well, at least half of that 50 at lower prices. Right, let's check the 4-hourly to see how that looks on a shorter term time frame. So we've got incoming golden cross on both exponentials and simples, 2.65 and 2.74 major supports at those levels. Wait for the golden crosses to take place. You might not get a dump into those now. So when I'm talking about the actual prices, these are moving averages. These will move with every 4-hourly. So remember, you don't just say, oh, he said this price and he said this price. No, these prices will move. Moving averages move. They're relevant. They're highly relevant for supports and resistances, but they move every day. So you have to track the price. They're given to you by the moving average. But at the moment, if we were to just dump down in it, immediately, supports exist around 2.75 and 2.64. So decent, and we'll be looking for a higher low, and at that point, moving on for another attempt to break this major resistance. 3.2. That's what we'll be looking for. There's nothing much more to say on this particular chart, I have to say. It's good. It's been good for a little while. That's why I sort of mentioned it a couple of times on the videos, and I'm quite bullish on it long term. Short term, looking for a pullback and a bounce with a high low, and then with that, another attempt to break that 200 exponential on the daily, which is our main problem right now. Death cross over here, and then we've got another simple death cross over here, which currently stands just below 3.6 cents. I like it. It's not amazing. It's not the best thing you've ever seen in the world, but I just thought I'd bring it to your attention because I appreciate. I've made a few videos on this about dollar cost averaging on the way down, and I just thought I'd say, look, it's almost above all those areas. This is just an example of what things are going to look like in the future, in my opinion. It's very early to expect a reversal for altcoins. And actually, before I leave, I might as well just show the Bitcoin dominance chart. So on the daily, we've managed to bounce before hitting a 200 exponential, a golden cross retest. We've managed to bounce there. The bounce on this now is relatively good because the weekly bounce from the 21 exponential again. So every aspect of the dominance chart looks bullish. So this is still going to be a Bitcoin driven market. And as I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, if we're going to get a bounce on altcoins, it'll be a bounce that will be fed back into Bitcoin. So as bullish as I am on the higher term timeframes and the long term for these altcoins that I'm building portfolios in the short term, it's still a Bitcoin driven market. So don't be surprised at all to see sats get drained, go back into Bitcoin at this point now. We were looking and hoping to see a closure below this weekly 21 exponential. We haven't got it. In fact, we got the opposite. We got a bounce from it. The other aspect we were looking at would have been, okay, if we got that, then we maybe will see a bounce down here, 54% dominance, which again is bullish, and we've bounced before then, so we are bouncing on the weekly. It looks like the higher term timeframes are the main things to look at. We're above the death crosses as well on the 4 hourly, so every aspect of the Bitcoin dominance chart does look good. So if there was to be a big move take place in crypto, it's most likely going to be Bitcoin dominant. So Bitcoin is going to take the sats away from most coins. So these runs, these rallies that we've had that kind of predicted have moved into death crosses. Look, we can still break bullish, but in the short term, to me, it looks like they're going to get fed back into Big Daddy Bitcoin, who is reigning supreme. The dominance chart suggests that. The death crosses on the dailies suggest that. And that is what I've been saying on the Patreon and on these videos for at least the last couple of weeks. Any rally is not an alt season, it's a rally. It's an alt rally. And this one is a 60% rally from the bottom to the top. And you have to be happy with that. If you're happy to hold long term like I am, all of this is just noise. It's just noise. And lower prices are opportunities. If you didn't dollar cost average on the way down, maybe you could think about dollar cost averaging on the way down now. You know, you've got to buy the lower prices to sell at the higher prices. This is resistance. This is resistance, and dominance is increasing. So just recognize that for what it is. Short term timeframes, not so favorable. Higher term timeframes, looking a little bit better than they were a couple of weeks ago. So that is that. I'll leave it with you there. If you've got more alts that you want me to look at, let me know in the comments, or join the Patreon. We're doing a stream tonight and we can look at them all there live. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.